Mikey's Drive Time on Brentwood and Billericay is Phoenix FM with a bit of Semisonic and Singing in My Sleep there. Now, we've got... I had to do that. Sorry, Sal. Sorry, Sal.
It's okay.
Now, do you get that much?
I get it all the time, but I think it's quite funny. As long as
Thank you very much.
attention, you know. You do better than me. I must get some lessons off you.
Sal Bashir is an Elvis tribute act, aren't you, Sal?
Absolutely.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been performing Elvis in the rock and roll show for about 18 years. Nearly gave my age away there.
18 years, cool.
Long time.
That is a long old while, isn't it? To be doing this, it's just. And I suppose you just can. Do you? Obviously, you wear all the white suits and. Guitar?
Actually, I don't wear the white suits.
You don't wear the white suits?
I'm one of the few Elvis tribute artists, or ETAs, as we like to call ourselves.
Really?
You've got to give me a title after my name. I've never earned one, but I've got one now. I don't wear the jumpsuits because my preference is for the sharp suits that Elvis wore in the movies and
really?
Snappy box jackets that he wore in the 50s and 60s.
That's a nice little twist.
And the leather suit. The leather suit.
The leather suit in the comeback.
Yeah, that's my trademark. People know me to wear the leather suit, which goes down very well with people.
I can imagine it does. Yes, it does.
He's winking at me over this side, you know, when he mentioned the leather suit. Now you know something about him, listeners.
So you got. Let me get this picture. You got the leather suit on. Obviously, you come out to all the dun 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 dun. Guitar. Play the guitar.
I play a bit of rhythm guitar, but I'm not very good at playing the guitar, but I get away with it. Elvis was a very good guitar player.
Was he really?
He had to be, because when he first started out with Scotty Moore, his lead guitarist, and Bill Black, who played the bass, Elvis had to play the rhythm on the acoustic guitar. So
really?
He played a lot of the early stuff, but because he met up with some fantastic session musicians, he didn't really have to be a prolific and accomplished guitar player, because he had fantastic guitar players like Hank Garland, the chap on stage with him, James Burton. Nearly forgotten his name there for a second. James Burton, legendary James Burton, and many, many others as well.
I didn't realise he was at a company, because you see him with the guitar, but very rarely do you see clips of him playing it too much.
As I say, because he had such great guitarists around him, he also could play the piano. He played the drums as well. Elvis was a musician. He was a fantastic producer of his recordings as well, and he gets very little credit for that, on how good Elvis was. He may have not written any of his songs, but he produced them. He had a great ear for a hit single such as Return to Sender. He personally picked this movie song, and he went straight to #1.
Really?
So he knew what he was doing when it came to picking #1 hit songs. Actually, it's a very interesting story. Little Less Conversation, which went to #1 a few years ago. When it was first released in 1968, Elvis personally picked that song from the film and said, "This is a hit song." He did absolutely nothing at that time, and he was quite upset, because he thought, "Well, this is a very clever song. We've got lots of lyrics going on here, and it's very adult as well." And at that particular time, it was about serious pop songs. It did nothing, but many, many years later, it was remixed by JXL and bang, went to #1.
Yeah, it did.
So
it's
clever
great.
Elvis.
I think it's a great song.
It's brilliant.
Fantastic song. So 20-odd years, playing a guitar, wearing the leather suit and all the rest of it. Do you have women throwing themselves at you?
I usually dodge them, and then they fall on the floor. No, I mean, you get a lot of people, all age groups, young and old, who really come to enjoy the shows, and it's about promoting Elvis and rock and roll music.
He was amazing.
He is amazing, and
absolutely.
you know, I just visited the exhibition at the O2, and I was very hesitant about going, because I've been to Memphis and I've seen these articles in their natural environment in Memphis at Gracelands, and I thought, I wonder how this is going to be. I can honestly say you should go, because it's another humbling experience to see this great man with the jumpsuits on display, the cars, and jewelry. Some of the jewelry he had. You realise how great he is. You never stop learning on how good Elvis actually was, and how much music and wonderful memories he left behind. I never get bored of singing and paying tribute to the great man. He is the messiah of rock and roll.
Oh, absolutely. And what gets me about Elvis is it's not individually his voice, although it was okay. It's not his dress sense, although it was a little bit strange on stage. But when you come back and look at the whole picture, you just go, wow, this guy is just awesome.
Yeah.
I saw there was a documentary on about him the other night, and they showed you through his last hours and all that, and he's amazing man. Such a loss, such an absolute loss.
When you consider he was 42 years of age, just 42. I mean, we lost people like Gene Vincent at the age of 36 in 1971. We lost Buddy Holly through unfortunate circumstances, and Eddie Cochran within just a couple of years. We were quite privileged to have Elvis as long as we did. When you compare it to the other rock and roll idols and some of the big artists that sadly passed away, he had so much more to offer, and it's a huge, huge shame that he would have been 80 this year, and I can just imagine how it would have been if Elvis was still around. A friend of mine said, he said, I'm not sure if it would have been a good thing if he was still around. Well, as an Elvis fan and a fan of music, of course it would have been a great thing to have Elvis around, because as far as I'm concerned, his music was developing again at the point of when he passed away with Moody Blue and Way Down. They were already riding the charts when he passed away in 77.
Such a loss, such a sad loss.
Yeah.
Amazing man. So you're obviously booked. I mean, I could tell because you've even got the mannerisms. If you don't mind me saying so, you've got mannerisms. I don't mean the heart with the lip and all the rest of it, but you've got certain mannerisms that are very similar, and it's really strange. But you're doing a gig locally, aren't you, for St Francis Hospice?
Absolutely. I mean, you're very well informed about St Francis Hospice, a very important organisation, a charitable organisation that takes care of thousands of people a year, not 84% of them in their own home and in their own natural environment. Yeah. And as we was talking off air, it's a very humbling experience. You've actually been there to see the hospice for yourself, and the hard work, and it really is hard work, that the nurses, doctors and all the qualified and experienced staff put in. And it costs, I think, it was 6.5 million just to run the place.
Self-funded as well.
It's self-funded. So they rely on the public from everywhere, from all four corners of the universe, to put their hand in their pocket and donate as much money as they possibly can to the St Francis Hospice. And I've got a show coming up to raise money on the 13th of March at the Du Rougemont Manor.
That's it, Du Rougemont Manor. Just round the corner here.
Just round the corner in Brentwood and Great Rawley. And I'm really looking forward to it, to raise as much money as we possibly can and do my little bit to raise money and hopefully make a bit of a difference to the patients and the people that are there. And I should think it's going to be a really great night. I'm really very much looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be a great night. If it doesn't sell out, I'll be very surprised.
Well, I understand that there are tickets still available, so they can go to all the W's, and that's sfh.org. UK, and they can go to the fundraising section of the website, and they can book online. It's £35 a head, which includes a three course, I think it's 3 or 4 course meal, and of course the entertainment by my good self for a 2 45-minute set, incorporating all the hits of Elvis Presley.
An hour and a half. Oh my word, Sal, you must be exhausted at the end of that.
Oh, I love it. I'm But I don't even look at my watch when it comes to performing, because I enjoy what I do, and I'm out there in the audience, mingling, encouraging people to get up and dance, and just it's about promoting Elvis's music, and of course to promote as much as I possibly can why we're there and for what purpose, and to raise as much money for the St Francis Hospice as we possibly can. I was very privileged to be asked by Mary Ann to take part with this particular fundraising event, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But they really need to visit the website and book online and get your tickets before they're all sold out.
So that's www.sfh.org.uk.
That's correct, yes.
Fantastic. Sal, when you're in the area again, if you're doing another gig, you come down and see us. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I wish you all the best of luck at the Rougemont Manor on the 13th of March.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And great year.